Hey, English learners! Imagine traveling alone for the first time. You have to handle everything by yourself. Sounds a bit scary, right? Well, today's video is all about that. I'm Allison, and today I have a short story for you. Can you understand the story without subtitles? Listen carefully and test yourself at the end. Let's get started. Grace's first trip alone. Grace arrived at the airport in a new city. It was her first time traveling alone. She felt excited, but also a little nervous. She said it was time to be brave and start her journey. After she got off the plane, she followed the signs to the exit. She saw many people and heard different languages. She said the airport was big and a little confusing. She needed to go to the city center. She looked around and asked a worker. She asked how she could go to the city center. The worker said she could take a bus or a taxi, but the bus was cheaper. Grace said she preferred the bus. She asked where the bus stop was. The worker showed her the way. Grace thanked him and followed the signs that said bus stop. At the bus stop, she checked the bus number and waited. When the bus arrived, she asked the driver if the bus went to the city center. The driver said yes. She smiled and got on the bus. She sat near the window and watched the city. She said the buildings looked beautiful and different. Finally, she arrived at the city center. She got off the bus and used her phone to find her hotel. She walked slowly and carefully. She said she did not want to get lost. When she arrived at the hotel, she went to the reception. She smiled and said she had a reservation. She also said her name was Grace. The receptionist checked the system and gave her a key card. The receptionist explained how to use the key card. She said Grace should use the card to open the door and also to use the elevator. Grace listened carefully and said thank you. She went to her room and tried the key card. At first, it did not work. She said maybe she did something wrong. Then she tried again slowly, and this time the door opened. She smiled and said it worked. She entered the room and put her bag on the bed. She looked around and said the room was clean and comfortable. She rested for a short time. In the evening, she felt hungry. She wanted to eat, but she did not know where the restaurant was. She went back to the reception and asked where she could eat dinner. The receptionist said the restaurant was on the first floor and gave her directions. Grace said thank you and followed the directions. She found the restaurant and sat at a table. She looked at the menu and asked for a simple meal. She also asked for water. She said the food looked good. After dinner, she went back to her room. She sat on the bed and thought about her day. She said it was a long and sometimes difficult day, but she did everything by herself. She smiled and said she was proud. It was her first trip alone, and she handled everything successfully. Wow, I can really relate to Allison. First trips are always challenging. What about you? Have you ever traveled to a foreign country on your own where you had to speak English? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Now, let's move on to the test. I'll be waiting for you. Congratulations! You finished the test. If you got everything right, that's amazing. You're really getting the hang of this. And if you made some mistakes, don't worry, we're improving together. Try listening to the story one more time with subtitles. I'm sure you'll notice your mistakes and understand it even better. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.